Welcome to the Third Win channel, where today we're doing episode 5 predictions for the second season of iCarly, and this time around we don't have so much information, but we have some images to look at, and let's just have some fun with it. Let's get straight into the images and make some predictions. So first up, we have this image where we see a new character. My guess would be maybe a new love interest for Spencer, something like that, I think, but it's all speculation. We'll see. Our next image is this one where we see the woman we just saw, and then Spencer dressed in a very different way. I couldn't really explain to you exactly what he's going for here. You could call this Karen, you could call this some kind of Rockstar look. I'm not quite sure, but obviously the new character is a little bit shocked by the way he looks. Moving on, we got another image showing off Spencer's new outfit, and the more and more I look at it, I think he's trying to go for some kind of rock star. Especially if you look at the last image, you see that there's a heart with music on it, and you see some guitars in the background. But it's something like that. And we have everyone kind of reacting to Spencer here. Next up, we have just this cast image with the four of them. Nothing special. Next up, we have what looks to be maybe a subplot in this episode with Freddie and Pearl, and I think there's some very interesting discussions going on here with Freddie having a really big smile, almost looking like he's like, just admiring her, something like that. And this is probably happening in the Benson apartment. So I'll give a prediction for why I think they're here a little bit later. But this image in particular strikes me. And then maybe my favorite image is something that reminds me of the original, where we have Miss Benson and Freddie talking, with Miss Benson looking worried as usual. Something's up, and I love the sign above the hand sanitizer, kind of like a nod to Corona, maybe a little bit, about please wash your hands again. I love that. It's so funny. But obviously, I think we're gonna be getting a bit of a subplot going on between Miss Benson, Freddie, and Pearl in their apartment, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But I think you guys know where I'm going with this. But this part is definitely exciting me more than the other plot. So let's move on. We have one quote from the trailer where Spencer goes, "I raised the best woman I know, my sister." And this leads me to believe that we're going to be talking a little bit about the original and how Carly was raised and things like this. Again, I'll give my final predictions later, but I think there's going to be some kind of focus on parenting maybe this episode. Next up, we got a list of our guest stars, which we've seen pictures of all of them, but yes, we have our third appearance of Miss Benson this season and our third appearance of Pearl, and also we have this new character who I guess her name is McKenna Don Donataki. I don't know how to pronounce that. But moving on, we also know that this episode was filmed as the 4th episode, but will air as the 5th, meaning that after this episode, we'll have seen all 5, the first 5 episodes, like the episodes that were filmed first, the first 5 episodes that were filmed, we'll have seen them, but in a different order. So, obviously, then that means that if this episode was 4th, and if we go with the pattern we've been going with, then this episode will kind of follow the 3rd episode that was filmed, or episode 4 last week. So I'll talk about that also later. But what do we know? Like, for sure, we know about our guest stars. We know about our new character. We don't know about her, but we know that there will be a new character. We know that the episode is called iCupid, and we know that it was the 4th episode filmed. So, moving on, questions going into episode 5. And this is the part where we start, diving a little deeper into our predictions, what we're thinking, all this. So, first off, who's our new character? Like I said earlier, I really do think that this is some kind of love interest for Spencer. I don't know. It could be, it really could be anything, but I feel like, I don't know. This is the only thing I can guess. What other involvement would she have appearing out of nowhere with Spencer and Carly? It's not a family member. We know that. I'm just not sure. What do you guys think? I'm really unsure here. Moving on. Why is Spencer dressed like this? We kind of talked about this a little bit, but I think it has something to do with him wanting to be young and hip and something. They're trying to be cool or something. I don't know. And rock star look. That's what I'm going for, but it could be something else. It could be another thing I was going through my head was like maybe he wants to dress to seem more like a parenting figure, like more like a mother. So he needs to prove some kind of thing about parenting Carly. I don't know. I think that's wrong. Moving on, we have the episode name, iCupid. What could it mean? I think obviously Cupid is kind of in modern culture. It's to do with like kind of matchmaking and you know, getting hit by an arrow and falling in love and whatever. I think this should allude to Freddie maybe getting feelings for Pearl. We saw that image earlier of him kind of getting you know, looking a little attached. So I think that this refers to Freddie and Pearl, which maybe means that that's our main plot of the episode. Moving on, what will this be like? So, as I said, in this picture, Freddie looks absolutely like he's admiring her. So, I think this will be like, basically, I'll give you my prediction now, even though you'll see it later. But I think that there's going to be a dinner at the Benson household where, you know, we're going to have a dinner between Freddie and Pearl and his mom, and things are going to get weird, and Miss Benson's going to ask questions, and you know how Miss Benson is, and I think it's going to be a defining moment because meeting Freddie's mom for real, like in a dinner scenario, is like a real test of any relationship that Freddie's in. So I think that that's what this is going to be. I think that this is going to be Pearl meeting Freddie's mom for real in a dinner situation, and yeah, I think Freddie really likes Pearl, but maybe something is going to go terribly wrong. Something like that. Moving on, will Miss Benson support Freddie? And I'm I really do think she's gonna try to, and she's gonna do everything she can, but she's gonna somehow manage to accidentally mess something up, or you know, there has to be some kind of conflict in the episode. So I do think she's gonna support him, but I do think things are gonna go wrong. But yeah, so that means that my final predictions for the episode, which I've been alluding to the whole time, are Freddie and Pearl dinner with mom. I think that's gonna be the best part of the episode. I'm excited for that, and I think it's gonna be really great. I think there's gonna be a lot of parenting talk. I think that Spencer maybe is going through a bit of a not a midlife crisis, maybe probably a midlife crisis, and maybe he'll want to act hip and young again, and he'll talk about how you know, he was all these years he was parenting, he didn't get to do all these things in his 20s and whatever. But yes, and then we got a new love interest for Spencer. I do think that it's been a while now since we've seen Spencer kind of you know, gain a new love interest, and that was a big focus in the original and in this new revival. So I really do think that they're going to start speeding up with that again. The direction for Pearl and Freddie, I think, is going to be decided in this episode, whether they're going to work out or not. I think we're going to get a good idea, because meeting parents is always kind of in many relationships, it's kind of a deal breaker sometimes. Sometimes things go terribly wrong. Or it's a very important moment in relationships. And lastly, I just can't. I was thinking, like, what does Carly have to do with all this? What is she going to be doing in this episode? Is this one of those episodes, very rare episodes, where Carly's not going to be completely in focus? I hope so. I hope we get an episode more focused on Spencer and maybe Freddie and Pearl. So I think that Carly's going to take a backseat, and we also didn't see any pictures of Millicent. So what's going to go on with that? I don't know. But let me know your predictions in the comments. And what I usually do in these prediction videos, I leave you with actually, sorry, one more thing. There was this comment which made me think, and where my prediction with the parenting talk came from was from Jaina, who said that this is going to sound absolutely stupid, but I'm wondering if we'll get to see a Spencer-focused episode where he's resentful that Carly gets to live like a typical person in their late 20s, while he couldn't. Spencer spent most, if not all, of his 30s, or 20 early 30s being Carly's legal guardian. So I think that this is spot on. This could actually be what we're gonna see. Like, maybe Spencer's kind of acting out, having a midlife crisis, like, I want to be young, I want to be hip again, you know. I think that could be that. This is kind of where I got that prediction from. It's Jaina threw an excellent comment here, I think. But what I usually do at the end of these prediction videos is leave you guys with an image just to ponder upon. I think that this moment right here could be the moment which decides if Freddie and Pearl is a long-term thing or not. It just feels like a really important moment and a very deep and meaningful conversation. I think we're going to get a good idea of where they're going to go from this. So that's where I'll leave you. Well, that's what I'll leave you with. Give me your predictions, and don't forget to keep dropping your own predictions throughout the week. So if you want to be including these videos, if you see something online or whatever, or have a thought, let me know. In any video, I'll pick it up and put it in the next predictions video. But for now, this has been the Third Wing channel. Thank you guys for watching. Excited for tomorrow's episode, and stay tuned for the review for that episode coming tomorrow as well. So yes, I'll see you guys very soon.